What's up? I'm Brian Tong, and welcome to the Apple Bite. We're talking all the good and bad inside the world of Apple, so let's get to it. Apple and Verizon rumors are heating up with Business Week, claiming that Apple could be working with Verizon to release an iPhone Lite and MediaPad as early as 2010. There's sources who claim to have seen the device describe the MediaPad as being smaller than Amazon's Kindle, but its touchscreen is larger than the Kindle's. And yes, I know those are all juicy tidbits, but the only real thing to pull from this is that Apple and Verizon have met. Verizon's CEO even confirmed it. Now, there are still plenty of barriers here, like having the two companies agree on financial terms, which they couldn't do before, letting Apple keep control over its music and app store when Verizon has its own, and will Apple really build two different versions of their iPhone? At the very least, it's a negotiating tactic that could potentially give Apple more leverage with its AT&T talks. Now, last week, Apple released their quarterly earnings and reported their best non-holiday quarter ever with over $8 billion in revenue. During the earnings call, Tim Cook was asked about his thoughts on netbooks and where Apple is at.
When I look at what is being sold in the netbook space today, I see cramped keyboards, terrible software, junky hardware, very small screens. If we find a way where we can deliver an innovative product that really makes a contribution, then we'll do that. We have some interesting ideas in the space.
It sure sounds like SJ has rubbed off a little on Mr. Cook. Now, whatever this device is, it's a safe bet that the MaxiPad is still in the works. Now, there's been a whole lot of development surrounding a product like this, so we wanted to bring in one of our own to talk about it. Take it away, fellas. All right, guys, I'm here in the studio with CNET staff writer Tom Krazitz, and you've been covering the Apple Beat for quite some time.
3 years now. Yeah.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Sure.
Now, we wanted to talk about, everyone's been trying to find this holy grail of mobile computers, and Apple typically, with all their products, they've kind of sat back, waited for markets to mature. They did it with the iPod, the iPhone. They've come out with something that people haven't seen before. Is this really the right time, in your mind, for Apple to jump on this and put something out there?
Well, it depends on how they do it, but yeah, I mean, I really do. I mean, I think that previous attempts at getting into this market were all that well done. Mm-hmm. Like you look at the UMPC and the MID and things like that. I mean, those were computers that were running Windows XP, which was not designed for that
a portable type device. Yeah.
So it, whereas Apple's got all that with iPhone OS, and if they decided they wanted to scale that up a little bit to a bigger tablet, add a few like gaming-friendly things in there as well. Yeah, I think people could be finally ready for that.
Now, you mentioned the iPhone OS, and a lot of people are comfortable with that. It's something they're familiar with. What are some of the things that Apple has going for them right now that would really help them jumping in this market?
Well, the biggest thing with the iPhone OS is that the whole gesture-based user interface idea. I mean, it was kind of groundbreaking when it was released a couple of years ago, but like now, people are pretty used to that idea, and you see a lot of other phones trying to go down that road as well. So they've got people used to that, and then the other beauty of that is that the no-button approach. You can have the software programmable button anywhere you want to do whatever you want, and the bigger screen you have, obviously, the more you can do with those kinds of buttons. You can make them bigger, you can make them different sizes, you can put a real big keyboard on there, which would probably be one of people's primary complaints about the iPhone keyboard. So
now, what are some things that you foresee that might make this, or challenges that they might face entering this market?
Well, price is the biggest one.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got to figure out what kind of price they want to put on this, and you got to figure if they're looking at this category, they're looking at something in between the highest end iPod Touch, which is about $399, and the lowest MacBook, which is $999. So you look at maybe like a $699. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But the other interesting idea that they could think about is trying to hook up with AT&T or another carrier and subsidize the price of it, so get it down even lower. I mean, I don't know about that exactly because that might interfere with iPhone and iPod Touch. They might not want to mess with what they've got going on.
And the support, like how much it taxes the data networks and whatnot.
Exactly. If you make it unrestricted, then maybe it'll be more appealing. So but I mean, I think that's sort of a key thing that they have to worry about.
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks for coming in, chopping it up with us. All right, back to you in the studio. All right, guys, thanks for some of that insight. Now, are you looking to exchange info the iPhone way? Let's check out our iPhone app of the week, brought to you by our friends from download.com. You want to check out Bump. It's free, and this is a special one because it was the 1 billionth application downloaded from the App Store. It lets you exchange contact info, so open up the app on 2 iPhones. All it takes is a bump of the hands, and your info is sent to the other phone. So how can this help you? No, to check this out. Say you're out to lunch with a lady friend and you guys are hitting it off. Like, that's not guacamole. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, she like ate it and everything. Oh, dude. You have an iPhone and you notice she has an iPhone too. So what are you gonna do? Hey, do you want a bump?
What?
You know, bump here. Let me get in my pocket here.
Me?
I can't.
Wait.
Here, wait. No, I'm trying to get out. No, don't. No. I want a bump. Wow, that guy really needs to work on his social skills, but you can check out Bump, and again, it is free. Here's some quick bites. WWDC 2009 is completely sold out, and it did so in record time. It sold out last year, and there's no doubt the iPhone platform is a big reason. So if one of you guys can build me an app to organize my wardrobe so I can plan it out, then I'll be stoked. That was a joke. All right, guys, a pre-release of iTunes 8.2 is out in developers' hands, and some new tidbits have been found. iPhone Note syncing is coming in the next release of OS 10.5.7, and it's something people have wanted to actually make that app useful on your phone. Also, in the About iTunes panel, evidence shows Grace Note, which is the service that automatically fills in your CD track, album, and artist info, but this time it will support DVD and Blu-ray info as well. Now, you guys, don't get excited about iTunes all of a sudden being able to rip DVDs and Blu-ray discs, but it might hint at Blu-ray support coming for Mac soon. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week. Remember to write us at the Applebite at cnet.com. I'm Brian Tong. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time for another Bite of the Apple.
For your daily dose of tech news, check out CNET's Loaded. It's packed full of the latest tech news highlights that matter to you. Find out the latest gadgets or the coolest gizmos, all that and more Monday through Thursday at cnet.com/loaded.